Ever since childhood, I have seen that on my maternal side of the family, everyone assumes that I don't do any household chores or work, that my mother does everything. But that's not true. Still, people see only what they want to believe. They notice only those examples and situations that confirm their pre-existing beliefs, even if reality is completely different. This is called confirmation bias. And unfortunately, that's the case with the maternal side of my family. And because of this, they have treated me the same way for years. It hurts a lot, but I keep on ignoring it. This information that I just provided will act as a context in the future experiences that I will share with you. But let me tell you about an unrelated incident right now. So this happened when my father called us when we were in Gujarat, in the village, to attend my cousin brother, that is Emma's brother's wedding. We were there for 15 days, as I told you before. And one day my father called, but there were some network issues and we couldn't hear him clearly. I remember the call being stressful because he was really angry. He couldn't find something. I don't exactly remember what it was, but I think it was dal or some ingredient he needed for making khichdi that he couldn't find. In such situations, my anxiety gets out of control and I start to panic. So when my father suddenly hung up the phone, I got even more worried about what was happening back at home. My mother was also concerned and panicking. I remember I just took a seat to calm down, and I clearly remember that everyone around was watching. Then Emma came to me and said, "Come on, Kyukyu, let's do some household chores. Let's do some work." She meant that if I focused on work, on these chores, it would temporarily help me forget the problematic situation that just happened. I understood that she was trying to help. But the thing is, every person is different. Not everyone can calm down the same way. Some people distract themselves with work, while others need some time to process things, to calm down, to have personal space. It's not possible to suddenly switch from panic mode to calm mode. I'm the kind of person who needs time and space to settle down. Otherwise, if I start working while I'm still unsettled, things only get worse. Instead of getting things done, I'd mess things up. So, I just said, "I'll come in 5 minutes. I just need a little time to myself." But at that moment, Emma said the typical line she always says, "My problems are bigger than everyone, but still I'm working, aren't I?" Hearing that, I got triggered. It triggered my anger because at that moment there was no reason, no point in comparing problems. It was unnecessary. So in frustration, I said, "Please don't compare your problems with mine." Then she started listing all her problems. How her mother had passed away, how she lost her baby, how her husband left her. She kept counting all these things and then started crying. At that moment, the issue wasn't about whose problems were bigger. The issue was that I needed a little time and space to get back to normal. I tried explaining this to her, but she just didn't understand. Another incident happened with my youngest maternal aunt. I don't know what was wrong with her, but from the beginning, it felt like her mood was off. Something was happening with her. Although I couldn't quite tell why or what was that, but she was not emotionally well. It was evening and the utensils were placed outside on the ground. In the village life, people often sit on the ground or squat to wash the utensils. There was a kitchen platform, but it was very small. I had tried washing utensils while sitting on the ground or squatting or try to sit on a batti and wash the utensils before, but water always splashed on me. And my mother had strictly told me not to wash dishes or utensils that way because I have sinus issues and I catch cold very easily. At that moment, in that evening, I was just sitting on the katia, a wooden bench often used in villages for sitting outside. My youngest aunt came, sat on the patri, and started washing utensils. She suddenly said in Hindi, ऐसा नहीं कि लाओ मासी की मदद कर ले, ऐसा नहीं कि लाओ मदद कर ले, बोल दे कि मासी आप छोड़ो मैं करती हूँ. Which translates to in English something like, it's not like you'll say, Masi, let it be, I'll do it. Help me out here. You're not helping me. To which I calmly replied, Masi, I catch cold very easily. Whenever I sit on the ground to wash dishes on the patri and try to wash dishes while sitting down, water splashes all over me. I'm not used to it. She already knew I had sinus issues, yet she reacted as if my words didn't matter. Like I said, something was really off with her. She was not... It felt like she was not being herself. Since I felt bad about it, the next morning, I decided to wash all the dishes after the breakfast, but while standing by the kitchen platform, since that's how I could wash the dishes. I was halfway through washing the dishes when my aunt came into the kitchen, saw me washing, and then left without saying anything. After I finished washing all the dishes, that's when she came back and started checking and smelling them. I thought to myself, what is she doing? Then she, in an angry tone, said that, how have you washed these dishes? I calmly replied, the dishes look clean to me. But she said, no, they smell like eggs. I smelled them myself, but I didn't notice any smell. So I decided to confirm with someone else. I asked my mom to smell it, and she didn't notice any smell either. But my eldest maternal aunt did. Now the situation was that 2 people could smell it and 2 couldn't. So it was difficult to say for sure whether the smell was actually there or not. Then my youngest aunt started washing all the dishes on the same kitchen platform. She is slightly taller, so I told her, Masi, leave it, I'll do it. Your back will start hurting. But she didn't listen. No, I will do it myself, she said, and kept washing. At that moment, I got really angry. What was the point of checking all the dishes after I had washed all of them? If she wanted to rewash them, she could have checked them the first time she saw me washing those utensils while I was still washing them. To be honest, it felt like she was doing it on purpose, just to point me out. I went to the terrace to walk and calm my anger. Later, when we were applying henna, I don't know what was going on in her mind, but she started taunting me. I don't remember exactly what she said, but at one point she remarked, "That's why you don't sleep at night, isn't it? These things keep running through your mind." Then she said, "I've seen you staying awake till 3 a.m., just sitting there." Before I could say anything, my mother immediately spoke up and said, "That's not true. There's alarms going off between 3 to 5 a.m. and her sleep has been light since childhood. so she just wakes up at the slightest of sounds. The whole situation felt like an attempt to make me feel guilty or put me down with taunts. I had given a genuine reason for why I couldn't wash dishes sitting on the ground due to my sinus issues, but she didn't take my words seriously. And when I tried to make up for it by washing the dishes in the morning, I still received unnecessary criticism. My aunt checking the dishes, rewashing them, and pointing things out made it seem like she was already in a bad mood and took out the frustration on me. Maybe her intention wasn't to directly hurt me, but regardless, her behavior was unfair. If she truly had a problem, she could have calmly explained it to me instead of taunting and unnecessarily criticizing me. But still, I understand something was off with her, so she was not in the mental state to do that either, probably. Regardless, it was an unfair situation for me. Even during the henna application, the taunts felt like an intentional attempt to irritate me or make me feel guilty. The comment about my sleep was also an unnecessary personal remark. The good part was that my mother immediately clarified that my sleep issues had nothing to do with what my aunt has assumed wrongly. To be continued in the next part.